Good morning, everybody. Semi-retired Bob here. Today we're going to talk about, are you bored or are you really hungry? First, let me say welcome to all the new people. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am glad you're here. And I still can't believe how many new people we've got. I mean, 1,657 subscribers at the making of this video. I had a commenter just point out to me this morning in the comments, he's like, I just watched this video, it's 2 weeks old, and you are 4 weeks old. It was a 4-week-old video that he was watching, and he said you were really happy about getting up to 50 subscribers. I don't get it, but thank you all so much. But I had a subscriber ask a question in the comments. He said, hey Bob, can you make a video about, the difference between bored eating and truly being hungry? And I thought about it for a few seconds and said, yeah, I can do that. I don't know how well I'm going to cover the topic, but let's get started and see what we can come up with here. I think the first thing to think about is, do we have habits for when we eat? Like me, when I sat down, to watch a little TV in the evening before I went to bed, I would always have something to snack on. Whether it was a big bowl of popcorn with lots of butter. Oh, yeah, that's how can you not love popcorn with lots of good melty butter? Or it'd be a bag of chips. One of my favorites is, tortilla chips with some cheese sauce, or even some homemade cheese sauce, where you brown up a little bit of sausage, mix in a big hunk of Velveeta, throw in some tomatoes. Oh yeah, that's good stuff too. But do we have habits? Are we doing things where we're associating this activity with eating? We need to really think about those things and know when our habits are making us eat rather than our hunger. One of the best things I have found, and I don't remember exactly who I got it from, probably Dr. Barry, but I watch so many people on YouTube that it's very hard to say exactly who said this the first time. But and it's why I keep some burger patties in the fridge. I used to keep boiled eggs too, but I've pretty well documented that I've been having a problem with eggs lately, so I don't keep those in the fridge anymore. But I keep some burger patties, and if I've got a little bit of leftover stew meat or leftover whatever kind of meat, it's sitting there in the fridge. If you go to the refrigerator and you think you're hungry and you open it up and you look at those burger patties and go, oh, I'm hungry, but not for that, then you're not really hungry. You're just having a craving for something. It could be a sugary craving, or some other kind of craving. If you used to eat a lot of beef jerky, it's probably still a sugar craving, because I'm learning there's a lot of sugar that they use in the curing of most beef jerkies. So you got to be careful with that stuff. But the main thing to ask yourself is, am I hungry enough to eat a cold hamburger patty? Or that leftover hunk of steak in there? Am I hungry enough to eat that cold? If it sounds good to you, you're probably actually hungry. If you look at it or think about eating that cold chunk of meat and you're like, ooh, no, I don't want that, then you're probably not hungry. You're probably just bored or eating out of habit. Some of the things I've found that help me, because I still get those cravings. I think we all do. I found just taking a pinch of salt and throwing that on my tongue and letting it dissolve down a little bit and then wash it down with a little bit of water. I have found that helps cut the cravings. Or another thing to eat is, I know this sounded horrible to me the first time I heard about it, and for the first couple of months I watched Steak and Butter Gal eating butter, and I gagged at the thought of it, and I couldn't bring myself to try it. And then I saw somebody who was cutting it into little small cubes and throwing them in the freezer for 15-20 minutes to make them good and cold, almost like little ice cream chunks. Okay, I can get on board with that. I tried that and that was awesome. So having a little something like that every now and then to curb a hunger craving is also something you can do. Or you can go for a short walk. I wouldn't suggest trying to do, if you're only walking around the block once a day like I am, I wouldn't suggest trying to do a whole lap around the block a second time. But maybe take a walk down to the mailbox, or walk up and down your stairs inside the house once or twice. Just do a little bit of exercise, because I've found that if it's not true hunger, if it's just a craving of some sort or a habit time, that those will usually pass in 20 minutes to a half hour. So if you find something to distract yourself from eating, then that works out pretty well. But now, as I've always said, if you decide you're actually hungry, you know, if you look at that bag of cold burger patties in your fridge and go, oh yeah, I'm going to smash those, then you're actually hungry. Go ahead and eat. You know, we've talked about what times to eat. OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, or even 2 meals a day, or 3 meals a day, or whatever it is you're eating. Even if it's not within your normal time to eat, go ahead and eat. Because eating a proper carnivore diet, or even a proper keto diet, you're not really going to do any damage to your system by eating a bunch of proper foods. You're just not. I mean, might you end up only losing a ½ pound this week instead of a whole pound this week? Well, yeah, that might happen if you eat too much food outside of when you normally eat. But the secret there, the way to think about it, is not you only lost a ½ pound, but think of it as, not only did I not gain weight, I lost a ½ pound. We got to try and keep a positive mental attitude, because I believe what you put in here is just as important as what you put here. And my hands are actually starting to get a little cold. It's only 52 degrees out this morning. I am wearing long pants today instead of shorts for the first time, because it's chilly out here. But it's also kind of nice. The leaves are starting to turn on a few of the trees. I mean, I'm going to tip the camera up so you can see. Hopefully they come out. There's some leaves starting to come down, which makes it all the more urgent for me to get out of here soon. Because, you know, I had a commenter from New Orleans this morning talking about how nice it'd be if it was 56 degrees. And I understand. I spent all last year in New Orleans taking care of Mom. And my response to her was something like, yeah, 56 is okay. It's all fun and games till it gets to 25 degrees below zero. You may think you want to trade spots, but you really don't. Because when I was a kid, another one of those fictions that they used to always tell you as a kid was, well, once it gets below about 10 degrees, your body can't really tell the difference. That's crap. Because if it was only getting down to 10 degrees or so here, I might not have to run away for the winter. But believe me, when you step outside and the actual temperature is minus 25, and then the wind chill of a good stiff 20-25 mile an hour breeze kicks in behind that, you know it real quick. I don't know how you people up in Canada do it, because it gets that cold here just, you know, for a few days every other year. It doesn't normally get that cold here every year, but all you people living up there in Canada, man, I don't understand how you do it. Because, you know, I'm in Nebraska. North and South Dakota are north of me, and then you come to the Canadian border, and all y'all live north of that line. Now I know where the term crazy Canadian comes from, because that is just nuts. Now, I mean, I understand places like out in Vancouver don't get quite so cold, because they're on that, they get the ocean currents that change the temperature. But man, if you live inland, like the Winnipeg area, that's got to be just flat out brutal in the wintertime. And I feel for you guys. But I wish I had some more better suggestions for bored eating versus hungry eating, but that's about all I could come up with. So I think just thinking about the fact, am I bored or am I hungry, can help out quite a bit. I do want to cover one other topic today, and I wish I didn't have to go into this, but apparently I do, because I'm not going to mention any names, but there are several big influencers out there in carnivore space that are starting to talk about eating fruit. Now, is eating fruit better for you than drinking fruit juice? Absolutely. Will an occasional piece of fruit hurt you? Probably not, especially if you're eating something like oranges or apples, where the fructose is all bound up in the fibers, so that it takes a long time for that fructose to hit your system, and it's kind of spread out because it's bound up in the fibers. That's probably not nearly as bad as powering down a whole glass of fruit juice. But there's people out there talking about eating 1 or 2 servings of fruit a day. And if you look at these people, they're all fairly young, with fairly healthy metabolisms, or they are working out at a high level. If you can go out there and run 5-10 miles every day, you're burning up a lot of that. Fruit's probably not going to hurt you. You're probably not going to notice at all. If you're training, at a college or pro level for any kind of sport like basketball or football or any of those things, you're probably going to be okay with eating that kind of stuff. But I think as a YouTuber, we have to be responsible and know who we're talking to. Like on my channel, most of my viewers are above the age of 45, and a great majority of you are in what I would call the wizened age bracket. You're 55 plus or even 65 plus. And if I got on here and told you, hey guys, I just decided fruit was okay, go ahead and eat all the fruit you want, your blood sugars are going to spike, your liver's going to start to get unhealthy. I've just undone whatever good I ever did. And that's, I think that's just wrong. But, understanding what groups of people can probably get away with that is very, very important. We have to understand when we're getting, doing our diet and what we're looking at with our body. Oh, by the way, that driveway we just went by is the driveway I got to yesterday. So you won't be able to tell that it's well, I'll turn the camera so you can. There's a side street coming up here. And I decided that was going to be where we're going today. Because no matter which way I go from here, either to the left or straight ahead, it may look okay. Because in another 50 steps, there's a downhill run. But you have to remember, on the way back, that downhill run becomes an uphill run. And I don't know if I'm actually quite ready to add yet another hill climb to the walk. So we'll see how it goes today. I got probably another 100 to 150 steps past where I went yesterday. So, I mean, the one thing that I hadn't counted on is that I actually increased by 1%. Every day that 1% would get a little bit bigger. I went back and watched a couple of my original videos just to see if I could see what people are talking about. And I'm still my own worst critic, because I can see maybe a tiny little bit of difference, but that's where it's at. I know I'm getting healthier because, like I said, I haven't lost a whole lot of weight during this. In fact, I've only dropped about 5 pounds in the last month, which again, it's all attitude. I should be thinking, I've lost 5 pounds this month. But I know sometimes that's hard to do, especially when you lost weight and got healthier as fast as I did at the start of this journey. So that's what I've got to say about people talking about fruit. You're welcome to try it. If it works for you, that's great. Just be aware of the risks involved for people in our age brackets. Me personally, you know, maybe around the holidays, I might taste a little orange because I love oranges. Or I might eat a few cherries because I love cherries. Or even a slice or two of apple. But especially the things like grapes that have basically been bred to be great big juicy bags of sugar, I'm probably not ever going to eat those again. At least it's downhill back to the house from here. Another quick note on comments. Oh, I forgot to say, this is, what is today? The 23rd? 23rd day of the September challenge. You know, let's not forget to get out there and be 1% better today. And part of being better today is how you conduct yourself, both when people can see you and when they can't. I'm talking to the people that are sitting in their mom's basement, leaving comments on my videos about how horrible the carnivore diet is, and how I'm going to kill myself, and how I need to eat a proper balanced diet, and all that stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you that I feel better today than I have in decades. Decades. And all your little dire warnings don't mean anything to a guy like me. I had open heart surgery. I've stared the possibility of death straight in the face. And I'm here to tell you that even if you told me for sure, without question, I'm going to die next week if I don't stop this diet, I wouldn't change a thing, because I would rather have one more week of fantastic, healthy life than another decade or two of the way I felt before I started this diet. That's just the way I feel. I'm not saying you have to feel that way, but that's the way I feel about it. If you haven't seen my entire walking journey so far, video is going to pop up over here. You can click on that and watch the whole journey. Or over here should be another link to a video that you haven't seen before. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.